Alright, hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. We're back again with Nolgroth. We've got another ship. Say hello, Nolgroth.
Hello, everybody.
So this is the Caiman class, and funnily enough, this is the kind of the escort vessel to the other vessel we were looking at, the kind of the trade authority. There's the Irish trying to have it to say words. The trade authority, kind of the where you have the kind of the vessel that hauls and does the freighters. This is meant as the kind of the escort. Now I instinctively seen it and I was like, this looks very Mass Effect-y, because Nolgroth is a fan of Mass Effect. And then you informed me that it was just purely coincidence, and also the naming.
Sadly,
Because the Cayman, I was like, oh, Cayman small crocodile. And then Nolgroth again with his like next level was like, you were saying that it's a reference to the Cayman Islands, which is known for its banking and kind of sketchy money stuff.
correct.
It looks, I will say straight off the bat, this looks absolutely amazing. Very heavily merged, which is interesting because you are kind of a bit of a purist when it comes to building. Like, is this... Sorry, can you?
I was just going to say this was an experiment for me to try merging.
And I tell you, it turned out phenomenal. Now, we'll kind of... The first thing I want to say is, because obviously it's meant as a, like, you know, an escort vessel the trade already used, and it's very well armed and armored to an extent. What was the kind of the like, is this kind of custom made, or is this kind of a ship that was, you know, like, say, an older ship that the trade authority bought the rights to in your head? Like, how did this come about in the universe, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my headcanon is probably not as well thought out as I would like it to be, but the vestigial thoughts that I had is that the trade authority decided, since they've customized a cargo ship, they would want to have a good escort for it as well, and that's where the genesis for this came from. It's a heavy fighter. It's not a light one. It's a Class C. It actually is a higher class than the transport vessel is.
Like, I can imagine, like, the crews with this. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just, you know, I have to say it because it looks awesome. But I can imagine, would this be the sort of, like, where the crew are really well paid, really good at their job, but probably the sort of people where, like, 9 times out of 10 they do nothing because no one messes with them? Would that be right in kind of saying that, or would the trade already kind of be more cutting corners with their protection?
I think that they're cutting corners, but most security and military things are training 90% for the 10% when things go, you know, tits up. So,
I mean, it looks very menacing. It has like a really cool, like, it's, again, obviously it's not designed on Mass Effect, but it kind of gives very, because a lot of the ships in Starfield, they don't look very aerodynamic and sleek, and that's probably a byproduct because, you know, I don't think the ships have to necessarily be aerodynamic, but this looks like it could dance, even though it is a C-class, which is quite deceptive, because at first glance, like, you're like, C-class, what? And then you see the reactor, and you're like, okay. What's the reason behind making it a C-class? Because obviously, you know, it's a heavy fighter. Was the intent from the get-go to make it a C-class vessel?
yes, I wanted it to have as much health as I could cram into it. Now, that being said, I didn't choose the highest point reactor because of where this character's currently at, or when they made where this character's currently at. But yeah, so I just wanted the big 1600 shield and the C-class health that comes along with it.
Like, it's again, it's an awesome ship design. So if we take a look at some of the stats, so it's got a fuel of 290. Now I'm guessing that this never leaves like proximity of the kind of the main vessel. Would it be possible for this to refuel off the main vessel, or is this kind of like it like, even though the fuel is 290, it has enough fuel to kind of get where it needs to go?
It should have enough fuel to get where it needs to go, but I imagine in a pinch they could probably share fuel.
And then obviously we've got that hull of 1100. Obviously not the best reactor, but like the thing is with the whole stuff, like, when your shields go down, the hull will, you know, the hull is kind of, you know, not the best, but that's, you know, C-class, so it's better than most. It's got a cargo of 240, which, you know, like that's just a cockpit. I'm assuming this is meant to carry stuff. It's the other ship that carries stuff. It's got a B or C-class reactor, 35 power. It's got a crew of 2. Now that's kind of interesting. Is this intended? Like, is that the kind of the accurate? Is this a 2-pilot vessel, or like would you have liked to have had more in it? It's just, you know, Starfield's crew system.
Probably a combination of both. It's not going to be heavily crewed. It's like a fighter or a, you know, it's not the main ship. I imagine that they would probably dock up with the main ship and transfer crew back and forth to facilitate resting and
I'd be super
interaction and
hyped
all.
for my go at flying this thing because it looks like it would be an amazing ship to fly. Like, it's like almost like the crew, like the pilots of this, they're wanting Crimson Fleet to try something.
Oh, I imagine they are.
So it's got a jump range of 30 light years, which again, that's more so to match the fact that it needs to go where the other ship goes. Got a 2,800 shield, so it's using the best shield in the game, the C-class. 3 sets of weapons. We've got laser... No, they're not turrets. They're laser, fixed laser weapons, missile pods, and then we've got railgun turrets. Was there a reason behind the turrets? Did you just kind of like to kind of give some of the... take some of the kind of the control away from the pilots so they can fly better? Or do you just...
I went with the fact that turrets don't require as much energy, and there is an energy budget on this one. So,
That makes a lot of sense. That, yeah, you and Michael pointed that out to me, that you don't need really more than one unless your turret's down. And ever since then, I've just been clever with it. Price to make this probably going to cost around 500 grand, just looking at the cost of it there. But yeah, let's go check it out, shall we? Oh, it is. We'll be back. It is nighttime. All right, we're back. I have the weather. It's still raining, but it's not raining at the same time. Yeah, to look at this, it looks so nice. I just love the sleekness. The color scheme is really nice. Ooh, do those missiles clip? Oh, we're gonna dock points. Oh, it's close, but you're. Did you get the tape measure out and double check that when you were building it? Or was that just a happy accident?
I kind of eyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't really, go in there that,
That finally.
specific.
It looks so cool. Again, it's like, it's so like you see this and you're like, oh, this is just some A class, you know. But it is not. All right, let's go inside. We got the Tayo entryway. Okay, straight off the bat, we got a 1x1 storage room, I believe. Docking port underneath. Up we go. We have a living quarters here. Was this an all-in-one? I think this is an all-in-one. Yeah, it is an all-in-one, because I remember from that one stream where I made your entire ship all-in-ones.
Yeah, all in one A is what
Yep.
this is. No galactic.
What's the reason behind this, as opposed to, like, did you not want to go to control station because you were trying to emphasize the fact that it's a fighter and, you know, the fighting should be all happening here, or?
I always try to keep a place to sleep on a ship, and I wasn't ready to do any more customization at that point. This was actually built, I think, it was built after the interior decorating thing came out, but I had just decorated both the Rosalie and the
Dependable.
the dependable, and I was kind of decorated out, so I just wanted a quick and easy solution.
And I will take this time just to kind of comment on, like, Starfield. Like, Starfield, kind of like the way it does, like, ships is like, it's not like, say, Star Wars, where, you know, like, or Star Trek, or, well, actually I don't know about Star Trek, where you have your fighters, where it's like a modern fighter, you're sitting in a cockpit and you're stuck in that seat until you come back to base. Like, they've opted more to, you know, like, make these ships bigger, and I do like that because it's more realistic. And again, it's like when you're building, you kind of emphasize that, like you're saying, you like to have a place for them to stay and stuff. And And then we have
Yeah,
the what you say, sorry?
I was just going to say it reminds me a lot of and I mentioned it in another stream, the Star Frontiers role playing game. This would be kind of an assault scout class ship in that particular game,
And then
more
with
than a
the
fighter, less than a destroyer kind of thing.
yeah, like a kind of a like you're saying a heavy fighter. Maybe would bomber, because I know bombers aren't really a thing in some sci-fi, because you know Star Wars has bombers, but you know other kind of more realistic sci-fi they kind of do away with the bombers. But
Yeah,
it
not
kind
sure that
of
this would be a
it
good
it
bomber.
it looks, but again it kind of it has that kind of aggressiveness of like a heavy fighter.
Oh yeah,
This cockpit, was this kind of one of these things? Because when you're making any sort of a combat vessel, it's usually this or potentially the Armstrong. Was this from the get-go? Were you just going with this cockpit, or like did you kind of add it towards the end?
oh no, this was absolutely one of the initial. It was either this or the Deimos cockpit.
Yeah, Demos is another one's really good. I prefer this one because I like the fact that you have like your kind of your co-pilots, that they could be like, you know, controlling one of them, controlling the turrets or the missiles. Anyway, we're gonna take her off. Yeah, she performs. All right. When the I notice when like you know like when all the ships take off, they kind of have the same sort of animation. But I could
Yeah,
definitely see this one, instead of like going straight up, I could just see it like almost once it's a couple of feet off the ground, just straight forward punch it instead of straight vertical. I always find that funny because I feel like, I'm assuming you probably know this, but I'm guessing our ships do have like inertial dampeners, because otherwise that'd be a lot of G's that pilots are pulling there.
you might want to put some points in the lasers before
Oh yeah,
your
yeah. Before I get
ambush comes in.
completely, yep. There we go. All right, let's dance. Are you prepared to die?
I hope he is, because he's going down.
It's quite maneuverable for a. Yeah, this thing can really dance. He's too slow.
Yeah, they do that so you'll fly right by him and do the
Yeah.
whole Maverick Top Gun thing.
So you see with the weapons there, we've got our lasers, we've got our missiles, and then we've got our ballistic turrets that can't be fired. We have a base speed of, it's going to be 120 probably. 130 actually, no.
130.
Boost speed of probably going to be 420 maybe. Oh no, 450. Okay, interesting. Quick little agility test. Where's the planet? There we go, perfect. Yeah, this is very agile. I'm guessing it's sitting at 100 agility.
I don't think so. I think it's only like 85, 90, something like that.
It feels really. This is like one of those ships where like I'd kind of love to see, like, because obviously, you know, like in Starfield, C-class vessels, you're getting a max of 130 speed, so or one whatever you are. But it'd be cool if you could, you know, like in Elite Dangerous, how like it does with like certain things like shields and stuff, where it takes the weight of the vessel and then that determines like the speed and the stuff. Because I feel like this thing should be very fast, because there's not a lot to the vessel, and because it has such a big engine or big thruster.
I agree.
All right, so we're going to head down to the planet now, and we'll do a teardown. We'll be right back.
Go,
All right.
Have you,
So we, what you say, sorry?
oh, I was going to ask you a question off screen, but that's okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Continue going on.
All right, don't worry. You can get into your racist rants after. No, I'm joking. So this is, as you can see, this is heavily merged. So, well, not, well, I suppose heavily by your standards. By mine, not too bad. So we're going to kind of break down the pieces that are merged. So the top section here, we've got a Nova Cowling 2LTF, a 2LTM, and a 2LTA. And these are basically sitting, these kind of sit here like so. Of course, they're not going to play nice when I don't want them to. But they sit over there. I'll show you in a minute where they sit. And then we have these two kind of like back tails. We've got two Deimos Spine A's, 4s, two Deimos Tail A afts, and then we've got two, one on each side. Suki Sasu 40k missile launchers from Shinigami, C class, 4250 range, 1 fire rate, 86.09 hull and shield damage, and 4 power. We'll start at the front here. We've got a Magellan, not Magellan, as much as I like to think it is. C2 cockpit from Nova Galactic, 240 cargo, 5 hull. Or, I don't know what I'm saying, 2 crew, sorry. We've got a Nova Galactic all-in-one berth, 2x1A. We've got one of the 3 Reza 300 PHC SX lasers from Shinigami, C-Class, 800 range, 1.5 fire rate, 63 shield damage, and 4 power, and that is mounted on an equipment plate that you didn't color. Disgraceful. I'm joking. We've got an Assurance SG 1800 shield generator from Sexton Shield System, C-Class, 12 power, 1600 shield. And then these, so the way it would sit is this sits directly above this. You can't see it there. I'm going to drop it. It's not going to want to drop down. Let me just show you. This would sit above right here. And then this sits like that. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. And then obviously the back piece would sit over the back side, which we'll get to that in a minute. The back here we have the Infinity Cube, as Michael calls it. Nolgroth was telling me. So we basically have a reactor merged inside a helium-3 tank, and then we have a gamma drive. So I'm gonna just do this one first because it has snap points on all sides. So you want to slap that in there. Now there's different ways you can do this. Just gonna show the way I do it. Nolgroth's going to be like, that's not how I do it, idiot, because my way is probably very inefficient. So we're basically having this Deimos companion piece. So I should say, first of all, we have a 600T helium-3 tank, 290 fuel from Ballistic Solutions Incorporated. An SF-30 sheared flow reactor from Dogstar, C-Class, 34 power, 995 hull. And then we have a J51 Gamma grav drive from Aladdin, C-Class, 11 max power, 45 jump thrust. So we set up our little companionway here, and then we're just going to do the merge glitch to drop it down. So we're going to highlight them. It'll go up, that's fine. Highlight it again. It'll drop down. We want to highlight it one more time. And it should drop down. It's right there. Now we delete all them. And yep, it's in there. Perfect. And then same with the grav drive. We're just going to make it drop down. Going to drop down once. We're going to highlight it again. Perfect, like so. And then at the back here, we have 2 Supernova 2100 engines from Reladyne. C-Class, 3 power, 21,120 engine thrust, 7,050 maneuvering. So there's 2 here. So all you can do with this one, you just duplicate and let go of it. And it works like that. Off to the side, we have let me remove this, remove all these. Off the side, we've got 2 Deimos Wing E's, a starboard aft and a port aft. And then we have 2 Deimos Wing A's, starboard and port. And then merged inside here, we have 2 Stroud Cap A's. Let's do the simple flip technique. And then behind it, we've got 2 Stroud Cowlings. The 1L PBC, so there's a couple of variants of these. Them flipped upside down like so. And then we have 2 more Wing A's, there and there. And then 2 Wing E's. On the top, we've got 2 more of those turrets. On the bottom, or not the turrets, sorry, these are the lasers. On the bottom, we have 2, one on each side. The Jishaku NDRF rapid railgun turrets from Shinigami, C-Class, 1000 range, 4 fire rate, 24 hull damage, and 3 power. Does it also bother you that railguns have tiny range in Starfield?
Yeah. We'll just say that.
Yeah. I will really quickly just snap these on just to kind of put them back together. Do these snap on without any... Oh, we got to do a little bit of merging. These pieces. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this snaps here. Yep. Even though, like, when you look at it, realistically, that does fit well. Oh, I see where it doesn't fit. It's this piece, okay.
That little framework there.
And then same again, just flip merge them in. And then we'll do the top part here. So this piece sits there, like so. Little flip merge. No, oh, I'm not. I completely forget about this mod from time to time. We're just gonna flip that in, like, oh, and that's what happens when you don't. All right, now there we go, and this goes here, and then here we go, and then that is all correct. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And then bottom of the vessel here, we have our ship bed 200 landing bay from Tayo. We have our Nova Galactic storeroom 1x1, which is also a 100 slim docker bottom. We have two Hope 6 landing gear, starboard 4, port 4, and then 2 more aft. And then we have 2 Nova Cowlings, 2 LBFs, and then we have some 2 NG20 landing gears. These are 4 thrust, and these ones are 2 thrust. So you're going to have to do a little bit of merging with these. So we'll attach these first. These should snap in. These sit there.
That's correct.
Perfect. And then these front ones should snap in easily enough. Like that, yes?
Yep.
Perfect. And then, yeah, these back ones you have to flip merge because, you know, for some reason. Even though, like, I don't think you can fit these on any base ship. If you have, like, any, you know, like anything above them, which is really annoying because they're on a lot of ships where there's something above them. And then finally there. So that's pretty much it. Awesome build. Nolgroth, anything you want to add there? Did I make any mistakes or anything you want to just add, basically? Yeah.
No mistakes. You did really well.
Yeah.
The only thing I would suggest is that if you want to run this with cargo, you could change out those Stroud structural pieces in the back there
These
for
ones?
the similar shaped cargo holds, and you'd probably have to upgrade the engines and or add an additional one.
These ones?
Yep, those ones right there.
Perfect. You can slot them in there like so. Perfect. And so, yeah, like that would give you some good, you know, like obviously you're losing mobility, but you're getting a decent amount of cargo out of it.
Yeah, but if you upgraded those 2100 engines to 22 and maybe added another one,
Let me just actually double check that real quick. If we were to just to, you know, theory it. Where are they? Bypassed engines. There is none here.
Oh, there are, but this character can't.
Yeah, that's all good.
Level.
But yeah, all in all, like regardless, it's an awesome ship. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, that was it.
Like this, like obviously, like you've done some phenomenal ships. I think the reason I like it so much is because it's like merged, and because you've done such an awesome job of merging. Like, while it is merged, like it doesn't look like the only real big merge part is obviously the engines and the kind of the infinity cube. But for the most part, a lot of these like merges are more like a kind of out of a necessity, like having to flip merge these just because they're difficult. Same with the back ones. Have you flown this ship much?
Yeah,
because I know you fly all your ships. Because this is, I know if I built this, I probably would never not use it because it just looks so cool.
You saw how it performs in combat.
Yeah,
and I run at hard difficulty, so
it definitely gets the job done. So that's pretty much it. Nolgroth, do you want to really quickly shout out your blog where you can find a more detailed breakdown of this ship and many others?
Sure. That's stupid-fat-fingers.blogspot.com. And if you check my Discord profile, it's also linked there.
And I will also put a link in the description of the video so you can get that. So you should definitely check out, because not only does he have this ship, he has many more, which we'll hopefully get to. So as always, Nolgroth, thank you very much for joining me and letting me show off your ships.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And catch us next week. We'll be checking out 2 more ships. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.